SkywayTj, guys, and today we are going to be wrapping up my month of July. It is now August, so I figured we would go through everything I watched and platinumed in the month of July. It wasn't a crazy month for me, but I had a good amount of movies watched, so let's go over them real quick. As always, we'll go platinums first. This month I only got 2. I usually go for 3 because I'm trying to hit 100 overall by the end of the year, but I'm working on the Grand Theft Auto 5 one right now and it's taking forever. But I did manage to get 2, which the first one I got this month was Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. This came out, I think it came out with the launch PS5. It's amazing. I finished Ratchet & Clank 2016 in June, so I wanted to go right to the next entry. It's an amazing game, very easy platinum, very straightforward, nothing too difficult. Love the type of games, and I love the Ratchet & Clank franchise. I hope they bring like the whole classic catalog over, because I probably will play all of those. They're so damn good. And then I played Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue, something like that. This is a game that came out on like the PS1, and it was one of the games I played as a child a lot, and I love it so very much. I even made a whole video about it. You can click somewhere, I'm sure, in the description. I know what I'm doing. But yeah, that video was great. The game is not very good in terms of how games are made now, but it's a PS1 game, so it's fine. I'm glad I have it on my platinum catalog. So yeah, those were the platinums for the month. I'm fine with that. All right, the first movie I watched in July was Maxine. This is the 3rd movie in the X trilogy by Ty West, and I think, unfortunately, this is the weakest entry in the X trilogy. No means is it bad. It's a different style from X and Pearl, which is good because they're all supposed to be different styles of movie. But I just think this one was marketed in a way, and I just don't think the 3rd act really followed up to what I was expecting. It's still a good time. Really enjoy it. Mia Goth is amazing. I think they kind of didn't use enough of Kevin Bacon. But yeah, overall, it's a good time. It's just, I don't know. I was just expecting a little bit more, but it's an okay ending to the X trilogy. I don't want them to make any more because I think they should just wrap it up. But if they do, I will watch them because Mia Goth is fantastic. So we shall see. Next up, I watched Longlegs, and this is currently my movie of the year. As anybody who knows me knows, I love the horror genre, and I love when horror isn't explicitly slashers and jump scares. Not to say there isn't jump scares in this, but Longlegs is more of an FBI procedural horror type shit. There is a spiritual element to it, but the way it's played, there are just so many shots of our main character with empty space behind them, and you're just waiting for something to like fucking grab her or something. The suspense is very well done. The direction, the camera work is cool. Nicolas Cage eats up the fucking scenery when he's on the screen. Micah Monroe does a fantastic job. This movie is just so good. The people who went in here I understand why they might be a little bit disappointed, because the marketing for this movie was talking about how like it was the scariest thing ever, and your spine will be ripped out of your asshole and shoved up your nostril, and that's how scared you'll be. That's just studio manipulation. It is good though, and it is creepy and atmospheric and shit, but I understand why people might be a little bit disappointed that it's not the scariest thing they've ever seen, but it's very good. Very worth your time, yes. Next up, I watched The Wind Rises. This is a Hayao Miyazaki film. I decided I wanted to make sure I watched all of the Ghibli catalog before I made a Ghibli ranked video, which I also did this month. So The Wind Rises was one of the last ones I had to watch. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because I just talked about Ghibli in my last video, but basically, it's a story of a man who is obsessed with flying in airplanes, and he helps create one of the fighter planes for the Japanese in World War II. It's an amazing movie about how your own creations can sometimes not go the way you expect, and how your dreams can often be warped and things like that. It's also about love and heartbreak. It's a fantastic movie. It's just not the typical Miyazaki fantasy element type of movie, so it's a little bit different, but it's still very, very well done. Next up, I watched Twister because I wanted to watch that one before I watched the sequel that came out this year. And I do like this movie a lot. I really like the characters in it, and I kind of like how the tornado is often running at them like it's a fucking monster and it knows they're there. It's all for Hollywood effect, but it's very, very good. I think I like this movie a lot because A lot of the people who worked on Jurassic Park also worked on this, including Steven Spielberg and Amblin Entertainment and shit like that. So, it's very good. I did like it a lot. So, naturally following that up, my next one was Twisters with Glenn Powell and Daisy Edgar-Jones, Anthony Ramos. This movie, pretty good summer action blockbuster flick. You know, it's kind of hard not to enjoy a movie when Glenn Powell's on screen. He's so good at what he does recently. Very easy plot to follow. The action scenes are very good, as expected with modern blockbusters these days. It's a good time at the theaters. It's nothing that's gonna blow your dicks off or anything, but it's still a very fun time and worth watching. These next four I'm just gonna rattle off real quickly because they were all in the Studio Ghibli video I just made. But next up I watched The Tale of Princess Kaguya, When Marnie Was There, The Red Turtle, and Earwig and the Witch. All of these movies are pretty decent, except Earwig and the Witch is not up to Ghibli standards at all. I don't know what the hell they were cooking with that one, but you know. But yeah, I just talked about all these movies in the Studio Ghibli ranked video I just made. They're pretty good. It's hard for Studio Ghibli to miss, honestly. It's just they just have that one little blemish, and that's okay. We can't all be perfect, but you know, Studio Ghibli, they don't make poopers really. Next up, of course, I saw Deadpool and Wolverine. Man, what a fantastic movie. I'm so glad Deadpool is in the MCU now. It just feels so good. I know it's immature and everything, but I love that style of joking and humor and all that shit. The cameos in this movie don't even feel like cameos at the time. There are a couple cameos, but there are also unannounced supporting cast who help advance the plot of the movie, and I think it's done right. And it also seems like a love letter to the movies that came before, like the MCU, and before Tobey Spider-Man and all that shit. Like, it feels like Ryan is low-key thanking like Fox and these other companies for what they did before the superhero genre really blasted off. To me, that's what it feels like anyway. It's fantastic to have Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine playing this character. I don't know if he's going to come back for any more post this. I'm sure he'll be in Secret Wars and Ryan will be here forever. But it's a really fun time. Still can't get the opening sequence out of my head. Yeah, I love the MCU, so of course I love this. And I'm thinking about doing an updated MCU ranking, but I don't know. Maybe. Let me know. Next up, I watched Hacksaw Ridge starring Andrew Garfield. This is a real-life story of a man who was a conscientious objector who enlisted in World War II and saved 70 people without ever picking up a gun. It's fantastic. Directed by Mel Gibson, which, you know, is always a bit scary because he's kind of a psycho. But regardless, the movie is extremely well done. It shows war pretty much how I'd imagine it would look. I have no idea or experience, obviously, but the movie is fucking gory. It really shows a lot of crazy shit, and I was hooked the entire way, which is kind of strange for me because I kind of have the attention span of a donut. But yeah, I was hooked. I love this movie. I think Andrew Garfield does an amazing gotten and he should have gotten an Oscar for that for sure. Yeah, it's amazing. It's definitely worth watching. And to wrap up the month, I watched Aliens. I'm getting ready for Alien Romulus, so I need to go through all these movies. I've already seen Alien before, so I decided to pop in Aliens. I do think this one is better than Alien. While Alien was more of a suspenseful horror, like where are they coming from? Aliens is that, but also they amp it up by having a lot of action and guns and really fucking funny characters at times. The game over, man! It's game over! I didn't know that came from this movie, and I'm so glad to know where it came from now. Got to finally see the infamous scene with Ripley and the construction walker thing. So fun. I love the character design of the xenomorphs. I really think it's one of the best creature designs in Hollywood. It's so good. And seeing the Queen Mother alien in this one was, yes, I love that. Again, Sigourney Weaver's amazing. I think the whole cast did a pretty good job in this one, and I will be interested to see if any of them are able to top Aliens for me. I'm watching Alien 3 soon, but you know, I gotta get these done before Romulus, because that's just how my brain works. Gotta watch all the previous entries before you watch the newest one. It's just how it goes for me. Well, guys, that is everything I watched and platinumed in the month of July. Again, I could have got more platinum, sure, but that GTA one has really got my attention right now, and I want to get it because it's one of my favorite games of all time. And, you know, it doesn't matter in the long run, but I think I'm going to be able to hit 100 by the end of the year. I think I can do it. The movies, pretty solid month for movie watching. There wasn't any that I really disliked watching except Earwig and the Witch, but again, Ghibli can't be perfect always. So, regardless, that was the month of July. Hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I will be back next week with another video. It'll either be, I might find a top 10 to do, or I might make a video on the GTA 5 Platinum if I get it by next week. It's a very long, grindy game. We shall see. Regardless, I will be here next Friday. I will see you then. Bye-bye.